Hey, Emma, just heard from Wizards. We got a preview card.
How much did it cost?
Totally free.
No way.
Yes way.
Are you going to snow it to me?
What's that?
Are you going to snow me the card?
Oh, hold on. Chris is calling me. Hello?
You know what's been really bothering me lately?
It's no idea.
Black sweepers killing my value creatures in Modern.
You know, Wizards actually sent us a black sweeper for our Modern Horizons preview.
No way. Was it totally free?
Totally free. Oh, hold on a second. Ari's calling me. Oh, hey man, I thought you were busy today.
I had a meeting, but there were no snow.
Nice. Hey, Wizards sent us a preview card. Give me a minute, I'll send it over.
Wow, how much did it cost?
Snowtally free.
Snow way.
Yep. Hold on. How's the weather over there anyways?
Unseasonably cold.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the dead of winter.
That's oddly convenient. Our preview card, graciously, snowtally free, provided by Wizards, is Dead of Winter. It is 2 generic mana and a black mana for a sorcery that reads all non-snow creatures get -X until end of turn, where X is the number of snow permanents you control. So when I very first saw this, I was like, I was reading from top to bottom, and I was like, Dead of Winter, okay, 2 and a black, and I was like, is this Toxic Deluge? Is this toxic? Can it please just be like some kind of Toxic Deluge? And I was like reading, I was like, sorcery. I was like, okay, yep, still there. And I was like, all non-snow creatures. I was like, okay, that's basically every creature. And I was like, -X. And I was like, yeah, we're doing it. It's happening. This is happening right now. And then it was like, where X is the number of snow permanents. And I was like, okay, so it's not Toxic Deluge, but I think we can work with it.
For sure. I think so there's just a ton of black sweepers in Modern, and the thing to note with this card is that it's kind of coming in at the same cost as you can buy -2/-2 in a number of different ways. Cry the Carnarium, or like Flaying Tendrils is probably the most commonly played one. So you're probably going to try to get more than 2 out of this, which means you're going to want at least 3 snow permanents. And the pickings are kind of slim for snow permanents right now in black. And so, but typically, your snow permanents are just lands. So you're going to want a bunch of snow lands. Which in turn, you look at the snow land offerings, and there's allied color, enter the battlefield tap duels, which is not quite what we want. The duels from Modern Horizons that have been revealed so far are enemy color, non-snow lands. So I think that means that basically you're going to have a bunch of snow-covered basic lands, or colorless sources like Scrying Sheets, or the relatively recently previewed Frostwalk Bastion that's a snow creature land. So those are the kind of lands you're going to be filling up your deck with. From there, the next question is, well, then you have a bunch of basics or colorless lands. What are you doing? So mono black 8 rack is pretty natural. Dead of Winter is a cheaper sweeper than Damnation, which is always good in that deck, just something that costs less, more efficient, clear stuff out of the way. You already kind of wanted, colorless lands that provide some value in that deck. Scrying Sheets, putting lands into your hand, refuels Raven's Crime. You were playing Mutavault, and Frostwalk Bastion as a 2/3 is, just a fine alternate version of that. So I think that's like a pretty natural fit. I know you are, you have some experience with 8 rack, right?
I have a sneaking suspicion that is one of the reasons that this card was given to us. There has been for a long time a weird hole in black sweeper costs. So you kind of go from something like Shrivel for 2 mana for -1/-1, and then all of the Flaying Tendril variants are 2 mana for -2/-2, and then to get to -4/-, you jump to -4/-4 for 4 mana. And in Languish, and if you're already there, then like a lot of the time you probably just play Damnation anyways.
So funny story. The last time I put a 2 black sweeper into my Modern deck, I played Languish because it kills through Selfless Spirit.
Yeah, it does.
As does Dead of Winter.
Yes. Yep. Also relevant. Like Bantu's Last Reckoning is kind of what most people that are playing either 8 rack or just sort of other mono black or very close to mono black control decks are running, just because of its efficiency. even though there's a deck building requirement for this card, to be able to drop it on turn 3 to kill opposing X3s and very likely have your whatever Gurmag Angler, your Tarmogoyf, something like that, survive the sweep and be able to take care of most other things, I think has a lot of utility. So, and like I said, unless you're running like mono black snow control, which may or may not become a thing. We were talking about this before we started recording, but like as of this recording, they have released 74 cards, including the 5 basic lands, and like almost all of them are just like bombshells.
Yeah, this could do something. It could do something really big.
Yeah. So we have no idea. You know, there's some good indicators of of what may come, but we're still like putting snow as a thing into a set really requires like a certain density for it to matter, and we haven't really seen the full density yet that's been sort of reached as far as I'm concerned. I would be very surprised if there are not some other kinds of miscellaneous snow permanents at different CMCs that would allow you to sort of build this into a 3-mana Languish or like a 3-mana,
yeah,
whatever. I don't know if there's a
kind of pseudo like Anger of the Gods-ish or like Sweltering Suns level card. So
right.
One thing that I've kind of noticed looking at the currently previewed cards is that both of the snow creatures, or there's 3 snow creatures previewed so far that I can see, and they're all blue or blue-green. And the implication, if you're going to be drafting this set at all, I know I have a Grand Prix in my neck of the woods right at DC for me to go to. But blue and green are traditionally the colors that if you make a Masters-esque set like this, you make it a mana fixing thing. And then one of the things about snow mana, if you drafted Cold Snap at all, was that the snow decks kind of took off-color snow lands just to hit the density they needed. So you kind of have this nice overlap of like, well, I was going to play a Plains anyways, so I may as well like have a white card in my deck, and then I can play, whatever the set's equivalent of like Kodama's Reach is, and then you can find that white land, and then everything sort of comes together. So I think that's like a really nice fit for the snow archetype in Limited. It's the blue-green ramp fixing deck.
They also, one of the rare lands that they previewed is, it's called Prismatic Vista, and it's basically a untapped, it's a rare version of Evolving Wilds. So it's basically a regular fetch land that only searches for basics, but it comes into play untapped, and the land that you fetch comes into play untapped. So this is, other than notably being able to fetch a wastes, which previously was kind of a hassle, the fact that you can use this to sort of be 4 extra copies of a snow land is probably at least worth keeping in the back of your head.
Yeah, it's also really important because we're talking about needing a bunch of basic lands in your deck. You don't want to have the issue where you're like, well, I have a white-black deck with snow lands, and then you draw your hand and it's got 3 snow-covered plains. Like, that's not what you want. So if you have Marsh Flats and this, to be able to select which basic you want. And one of the things I like this in, we're talking about the Golgari mid-range deck in Modern and how that deck's already heavy on basics because of Field of Ruin. Wouldn't mind potentially having a good sweeper in it that's a little cheaper. Already has a bunch of big creatures. So that's like a pretty natural home for this card is that deck. Your Tarmogoyf is going to survive Dead of Winter. You can choose to, use your various fetch lands to get Overgrown Tombs to properly size your Dead of Winters against your, like, Kalitas, so that maybe you keep your 4th land as not a snow land. That kind of stuff. So I think that really makes a lot of sense. The only concession that deck really has to make is that if you do have all these basics, I mean, it already has this issue, and you're going to want more basics in the future because of this, but you're going to have to give up some of the black, green aspect of it because, if you have 3 lands and they're all basics, you can't have both. So I think Scavenging Ooze might be the card to go. But, Lilianas are both way better than that card anyways. And Ooze is kind of, whatever in Modern these days. That's at least been my impression.
Now, I'm gonna say the sentence, and it's not gonna make any sense. But I have in the past, when it has been absolutely necessary, and I have no other options, I've played Withered Wretch in the Scavenging Ooze slot.
You haven't gone all the way to Ixal, or however you pronounce that, Ixalid Jailer, whatever.
Oh, Ixalid Jailer.
Yes.
See, but it doesn't remove the cards though. It just because then they're just, and it don't, like, if they want to kill, like if Dredge wants to kill Withered Wretch, they need 2 Dark Blasts. They've got to do the upkeep Dark Blast shuffle to get it, whereas Ixalid Jailer will just die to the first Dark Blast.
They can't even do that, because if they do that and you just exile it in their upkeep, and then the Dark Blast is gone. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Layers.
Well done.
A lot of layers going on.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it is an option.
Yeah, and there's if we're talking about zombies, mono black and things like that, there's also Undead Augur. It's black for a 2/2. Whenever it or another zombie you control dies, you draw a card and lose a life, and it's a zombie wizard. So, just another heavy black potential payoff there.
Yep, having double black pips for mono black devotion is so a lot of slim pickings. You end up playing some odd cards sometimes. So,
yep.
Like, I don't know if you've ever played Geralf's Messenger and Garza's Assassin in the same deck, but I certainly have.
Not in the same deck.
No, okay. Well, like I said, concessions. Concessions were made.
I've played both of them, but not together.
That's a good way to describe a lot of the decks that I build. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, the card, like I said, on its face is pretty straightforward, but it has definite sideboard play potential, main deckable in, like I said, in that sort of mono, that mono-colored control type. Or I guess if you wanted, you could do sort of black X, I guess. There's like blue-black, I think, is at least passingly interested in this.
Yeah.
You brought up an interesting point where you can control the size of it, right? Sort of Radiant Flames-esque in that way, where you can just be like, okay, I'm only going to fetch 1 land because I just, I don't want to kill my whatever Hedron crab, but I need to kill all these Lingering Souls. Like,
Radiant Flames is a really good comparison,
and Radiant Flames is a hell of a card.
Yeah,
there have been plenty of times in Modern where like Radiant Flames was exactly the card you wanted in the main deck for decks that ran that sort of 3 mana sweeper slot in red. Like when Dredge wasn't a thing,
yes, Radiant
Flames was great. Now, obviously, it's a different world, so we play Anger of the Gods. But during those heady days, and who knows, Dredge may crawl back under its rock for a little while and dust off those Radiant Flames, and everything will be great. Yeah. So thanks again to Wizards, and hopefully we'll get to keep doing these, because we have a lot of fun with them. I think they're, it's a neat thing, and they did a really good job this time of they've got like a big master list of all the stuff. So
yeah, check that out. See, we're coming up today. Who's coming up tomorrow? Who was maybe yesterday that you missed? It's very organized right now.
And they're also printing. All right, I talked about the sliver for a minute. I don't even know if I'm going to include this, but unearth is a keyword now.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah, slivers just get everything. They get sliver cycling, unearth. I have doubts that the sliver deck will be able to produce enough mana of all 5 colors with just snow sources. So I don't think that the Dead of Winter will line up with Dregscape Sliver. But yeah, Dregscape Sliver's a lot.
There's a lot going on right now. Oh man.
Hey all, Chris from TurnOneThoughtseize. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see more from us, please go ahead and subscribe. Links to our Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon pages are below. And in the meantime, why not let us know where you'd play Dead of Winter in the comments. Thanks again for watching. Till next time.